Hello everybody. Today in 1631 Mumtaz Mahal died. You may not know who she was. She died after 30 hours more of labour trying to give birth to her 14th child. But though her name is not known very widely, the memorial built in her memory, the Taj Mahal, is very widely known and is one of the most beautiful buildings in the world. It was built by Shah Jahan in memory of his wife, who was his favourite wife, and it's built in 40 acres of beautifully landscaped land, made of white marble with inset precious jewels. It took some 20,000 labourers to build, and cost in modern money something like $1 billion. A huge tribute to his affection for his late wife. It's one way, I suppose, not only of memorialising her for the benefit of other people, but also a way of dealing with his own grief. And we all have to find ways at some point in our life of dealing with the grief that we feel when we lose someone we deeply love. And there's so much written and so much advice given about how to do that. But I just wanted to add one small thing to that list of hints. And it is to pick up this idea that to do something physical, to have something physical as a way of dealing with your grief, can be a help. Sometimes it is the burial of the ashes after cremation, or the physical act of seeing the coffin being lowered into the ground that is sufficient. But sometimes we need something perhaps a bit later on, at a different stage of our grief. And to do something physical, something we've used our imagination to work out as being right for us, it can often help. For example, to take a helium balloon and allow it to represent the person who we're grieving, and then to go to some high place or some place where we know there's a good strong wind, and allow the balloon to be taken off into the sky is well, I have found that to be a helpful way of dealing with grief. Not very ecologically PC, but nevertheless very helpful. It's a bit like the custom often at a funeral or cremation of having doves, which are at the end of the service set loose from the cage in which they've been brought, and they fly away, and with them it somehow lifts the sense of loss and enables you to have a feeling that the loved one is going somewhere. Grief is such a difficult thing to describe, or perhaps sometimes to take something that has belonged to the person that you're grieving, and in some way to dispose of that physical thing in a ritual way, either to put it into the sea so that it floats away, or to burn it, or to bury it. It depends what it is, and it depends what you would find helpful. But to think of something physical to do as a way of expressing the sense of goodbye, of letting go, can be an enormously creative way of taking you that next step forward in dealing with any grief that you feel.